Uh, Okay, here's Zach. Y'all have fun.
Should we put on some music?
I
Should
think they can do that post. It's not happening in post.
I put
This is
something on
going
quick?
straight uploaded just how it is right now.
Wait. I'll put on
Raw
something.
dogged.
Raw dog it.
Um, Zach is one of the sweetest people ever, but we were not on a tribe with him.
I was. I was on a tribe with Zach. And really, he actually was at a wedding the first weekend, and that he just couldn't recover from having a super social life. But he was super sweet. I really enjoyed the opportunity to get to know him. Circumstances just unfortunately put him in a bad light for the first tribal. And Jay was a sniper. So yeah, but it was great to get to know Zach. He had a pretty good pulse on the tribe as a whole, and it was great to get to know him.
Sounds like if Jay took him out, sounds like Zach was probably a pretty good player. And, sometimes you just get unlucky in these games. Cool. We can go
He's
to
a
next.
very sweet person.
Okay, we're gonna do it this way.
Oh, rest in peace, Marvin.
Marvin, honestly, a really, really nice guy. He was in Japan, so he was a little bit MIA. But honestly, even when he was MIA, even after that, he started really being IA. He went hard on that first tribal, and you got to respect it for sure.
He pushed. He was there for a little bit. I think he maybe fell into the same thing that Zach did. Um, he was on the other side of the world, so it was very hard to communicate with him. Um, but he was so hilarious. He was really funny.
Super funny. He's someone I definitely could see actually we would have definitely worked with him if circumstances were just a little bit different, but you know, he
He was
had
the hottest
people
person.
he had Aaliyah riding for him too. Like it
Yeah.
was just and Tommy was a mess, so overall Marvin was a great this cast was really pretty good and Marvin was a great player. He just the circumstances, that's all.
Okay, and then we go down to Issa. And y'all are actually going to see their races and classes now.
Cool.
Thank God. Issa's no, I'm just kidding. I have no idea anything about Issa.
Oh, I was gonna say I loved Issa. They were so easy to talk to, super open to different opportunities on the tribe. When we were first on tribal, Issa was gonna be my person that I wanted to do endgame with. It was just unfortunate that Mikey had safety without power, and they were not at tribal. Issa was not at tribal, so it was just really, again, a thing of circumstance of there's three people at tribal and just made sense to get Issa out there. I was already outnumbered, so I knew that if I had voted for them, it would have been a tie and whatever, it doesn't matter. But genuinely, loved Issa. I wish they had made it further in the game. They would have been really strong. Everybody on our tribe, if you got on a call with Issa, it was like you were hooked. Super good at making that connection and then doing strategy afterwards. So super grateful to have met Issa.
That's unfortunate. They seem like great.
Yeah, they were cool.
I'll take your word for it, Lily.
They got second place in their last org, and this is their second org ever. So it was shocking to see them go so soon because they were one of the people coming in I was really scared of. Because seeing Issa dominate a Big Brother game so socially, that was really scary. So hats off to Issa. They
Mhm.
are a dominant, strong player who went too soon.
Yes, agreed. Now we make our way all the way down to Aston.
Aston. I don't know if y'all can say anything about Aston. They are the only person in this whole org that I had even met before. And I had played a Big Brother with them before. And everyone told me, because I won first HOH, everyone told me I needed to put up Aston. And I was like, I'm not gonna do it. And I didn't put up Aston. And they ended up going second anyways. But, you know, I liked Aston. They were great. I don't really know I don't think their game was like too hot here, unfortunately, but they were wonderful when I got to talk to them. So
I don't know Aston personally, but I will add that on the tribe where they went, Jay had to, with his an item he won, he had to do like a mark of death on someone and had picked Aston. So it just seemed unfortunate circumstances that in this swap, Jay was swapped with Aston and probably had like a very clear path for a vote in a situation where not everybody wanted to take a hit. So sorry that happened to them. Only thing I can add, just like a poor swap, it sounds like for them in this game.
They
What
are
do
a
you think,
sweet
Caleb?
person.
Okay.
yeah, they're super sweet.
And now we go down to Morgan.
Gone too soon. Ryu, why don't you start this one off? I think.
Morgan, you were a scary player. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you spooked the hell out of me. It was definitely me that solely took them out, and I have to live with that. But um, I solemnly think that if they made it to the merge, they were probably here over some of us. And I think Morgan was an incredible player. They knew the game very, very well, and yeah, they were really wonderful to talk to as well. But damn, scary, scary player for sure.
Yeah, I really, on top of everything Ryu said, had a good like I think pulse on the game in terms of our tribe dynamic, but honestly, just so easy to talk to. There are very few times in these games where you get on that first call and it just feels like a little bit of home. And whatever Morgan has, they did that for me, and I think for a lot of us here, which does make them a strong player. But it was just so easy to connect with them, and I really enjoyed having the little stint of time that we had together. And again, in my opinion, gone too soon, but some things are out of my control.
Maybe the most robbed player pre-jury, I'd say.
Mhm.
But I mean Sanam too. We'll get to her, but they
But
were they
also,
were both really robbed. But yeah.
Vape Shop Counter Jockey, that's an iconic player class.
That's crazy.
Morgan is an enigma in these games, and also was somebody that coming into this game was very scary because Morgan is a powerhouse, and when it transpired and how they went out, it changed the game. Gone too soon.
Gone too soon.
Dude, this is really the thing that got my name out there for sure. For sure. Thanks, Mikey.
And now we make our way to Tommy.
Caleb, you want to start off with Tommy?
Yeah, we honestly clicked right away. I saw him. I felt like him and I were. He was like a little cousin to me, honestly, at the beginning. He was really skilled at putting his foot in his mouth. He was so good at saying the wrong thing at the wrong time, and it was just so hard to work with. Um, I love Tommy so much. He really wanted to make merge this season. It was his like entire storyline. And to watch him fall short was heartbreaking. I do have so much love for him. But he is a Halloween aficionado, and that makes sense.
Yeah, Tommy was just a super powered paranoid person. He like
Man,
was always paranoid all the time, and he really added to the chaos. Instead of it being a boring first tribal for us, Caleb, it was an entertaining one for sure.
thanks to
Um,
Tommy
yeah, and Tommy too, one of the most knowledgeable people about like just Survivor in general.
and
Like
Spellbound Survivor.
Oh my God, it was crazy. This guy would just nail off data points like he was a software engineer. It was insane, to be honest. So I like Tommy, but yeah, I feel bad he didn't make it to merge, but it is what it is. I get it.
I was sad to see Tommy go, precious boy Tommy. All my friend, my really good friend that I used to host with, we hosted Tommy. And when he watched the video of the cast, he said, I was no longer his favorite player because Tommy was here. And even like my fiance, who like they have not met, Tommy doesn't know who my fiance is. He like my fiance was rooting for Tommy. So, um, really happy to see him on the cast. Really sad our paths didn't cross, but probably for the best because I would never live down even trying to get Tommy out, like in my personal life. So, yeah. But sweet baby, sweet boy Tommy. I mean, how can you hate the guy?
You can't. He was such a sweet young man. He
Yeah.
is so like,
He's just so precious. Like I
mhm.
Yeah.
just wanted to like protect him.
Mhm.
And he tried really hard. He was playing the game as hard as you can, and it just,
He tried really,
mhm.
really hard, for sure.
And there was an alliance made around him called Tommy's Mommies in
Oh,
honor of him. So I hope that I hope he likes that and doesn't hate it.
that's funny.
And now we move to Sanam. Oh,
Lily, do you want to start with
We're all there
Sanam?
for this.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Sanam. I tried really hard to keep her in the game, just because at this point there were very few women or non-binary people left in the game. But just like beyond that, she had a really good head on her shoulders, which I think really put a target on her back, which is unfortunate. But I really enjoyed my time with her. She was kind of like a breeze of chaos that like went through our tribe. In terms of just like when you're on a call with her, like something's going on. Like something's
Mhm.
happening in the background. She lost something, something's happening, but she was aware of everything, I think. I think she had a couple unfortunate poor reads, which really led to her going and Jeremy telling Edward about her idol really kind of put the nail in her coffin. But I really enjoyed talking with Sanam. I think people found her to be, again, super threatening, which seemed to be a big thing in pre-merge in this game, so it led to her unfortunate demise. But I hope seeing that it wasn't just a like dog pile shows that she had a good game going in. It just we all were seeing the writing on the wall of it being a merge, and having Sanam in that merge was super dangerous for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think like personally, I think as like from the like pre-merge people, I think like me and Sanam would be bros for sure. I think Sanam was so cool. So smart, like a up and coming lawyer. She was in the military. Like this chick was such a badass and like an absolute like icon. And like honestly, like it's yeah, she had a few really unfortunate reads, but I stand to this day like if she made it past that round again, I think she might be close to the end. Like she at the very least she was like an extreme power player. And you could just tell from her aura that she gave off that she was, you know, she was really good. She was a great player and she was really fun to like as a personal thing. Playing that challenge with her was great. So I have nothing but respect for Sanam, and she was awesome. She was awesome.
She's actually the person. So we spoke about Issa earlier getting second. Sanam was the person who got first in the org that I watched recently, and Sanam flipped the jury at the end. Best like in one of the most like handedly way ever. I don't know how to, lack a better term. She did so good. She flipped everybody's perception and she won. And she was a powerhouse this season. Um, it felt like she had friends that were not us, and I think we had to do that to her to get to where we are because she seems so set up. And from what like we found afterwards, she was.
Yeah. Yeah, she was awesome. I have nothing but good things to say about her.
She is a legendary diva
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
in
now we
class and
move
in life.
on to our first juror, Sergio.
Can I start with this one?
Yeah.
Your boy.
Sergio, my buddy, I we played the game basically from day one until your sad vote off. Um, you were a little bit chaotic, and I love that about him. He was up until 7 in the morning, multiple nights. I would wake up for work and he'd be like, "Oh, I'm about to go to sleep." And I thought that was insane. But man, like even though he might not have been super loyal verbally, he was voted every time with me. He was someone that I relied on for quite a bit in the early and took a bullet for me. Like without Sergio in this game, I would not be here 100%. And so, Sergio, man, you're a great person. So, love you, man.
Bold statement.
Yeah.
Sergio was a chaos goblin. He was very sweet. We have played together before, and he was a little bitter Betty last time. So coming in, he was the same bitter Betty. He played the exact same style, but he was so sweet. Sergio is funny. He is witty, and we can be sitting on a group call, and somebody will say something stupid, and he will DM you and be like, "That was the stupidest shit I've ever heard." Like he is so funny and so witty. Just he was a joy to play with.
Yeah, he was pretty clever. I think he did this really smart thing of when he had an agenda, he like masked it as like, okay, I'm just going to be honest with you. And it takes a couple times to realize what's going on there, but I think that ultimately was Sergio's downfall. But I did really enjoy, like on a personal level, I echo what Ryu and Caleb said, like super easy to get along with, super smart, super funny. I think he had a decent pulse on the game. He just was losing leverage. And I think maybe had he been at merge night and survived it, I think he could have flipped. And I don't know that any of us would be here if Sergio had made it through merge night. Um, but yeah, super scrappy player. So it was my first really encounter of someone that in this game that was super scrappy and willing to like lay it all on the line, which is a really fun way to play, and really interesting to watch him play that in this game. But great guy, super smart, super funny.
Nothing but the best for Sergio.
Yeah.
Okay, now we move on to Kevin, wherever he is.
Hmm.
Found him.
Kevin was hilarious. I just remember my biggest memory with Kevin is him, everyone saying Kevin's name is the vote, and Kevin not knowing but telling me you have to use your idol tonight. You're the vote, and he was the only one in the whole cast saying it, and he was just so funny the whole time. He was talking about TV, movies, like it was his job, giving me advice on how to be a YouTuber. So for the little that I played with Kevin, he left a pretty big impression to me.
Yeah, I think Kevin definitely has a big personality and came into the merge trying to hit the ground running, but really trying to stick with those travel lines, which I think probably hurt him in terms of he became an easy name to put out there because um everyone kind of knew where he sat, which is hard at the merge. It's hard to play that truthful game, but also try to survive. So I think he, you know, stuck to what he knew, which is good. But on a personal level, really enjoyed talking to Kevin. I did find that at the merge, had the vote not been going towards Kevin, I could have seen myself working with Kevin. His just ability to like talk to you, like he listened to what I had in terms of input for the game, which is, our games hadn't aligned until that point. So although he was sticking with his core group, he was like having an open dialogue with people. I just think he didn't have enough time to kind of cement those relationships to keep him at that like post merge boot. But great guy, you get on a call, you know that there's not going to be any silence, which is nice. It helps the conversation flow in. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's good to hear that he listened to somebody. He was a talker. I'm glad that we could fake fight, but he is hilarious. He's a really good player, and he was just on like a different side of the group. I feel for maybe all of us just a little bit, he was sat on the opposite side of the circle.
Yeah, I agree with that, Caleb. I think he was just too opposed to too opposed to too many people, and the people that he was aligned with were willing to give him up, which was
Mhm.
just unfortunate for Kevin.
Which
Mhm.
was very confusing.
I agree.
Okay, now we move on to J1.
Lily, you want to
You want to
start?
start, Lily?
You're
Yeah,
Yeah.
not
I'll
going to
start.
talk about my misspelling here.
Wait, which one?
Burger.
Yep,
What is
yep.
that supposed to be?
Rearranger.
Whoa, that's
Oh yeah,
crazy.
that's not even
Interesting.
close. You don't even have an
Real
N in there.
I was speed typing, but continue.
I started this game with Jay. This is what happened in my last game. I find somebody that I absolutely adore and they get sniped out from under me. And Jay was that person. And in the last game, and I tried to use Jay leaving in this game as like lighting a fire under my ass. So I probably would have never partook in a vote out of Jay. I would have allowed it to happen, but not contributed. So it was unfortunate that he went. He had his hands in a lot of pots, and I think everybody kind of knew that, which made people feel some type of way. I don't know what type of way. I'm not going to put anybody's feelings on it, but I thought he was a good shield for me. He had a lot more information that he was fielding to me that I wasn't getting directly. So I really believed that Jay was going to stick with me to the end. A lot of people had told me he will pick one person and bring them decently far, and I did believe that I was that person for Jay, and so I appreciated that coming into this game, being told that on game two that I was that for him, and truly feeling that up until he left. Is a very rare feeling. I don't think I felt that with anybody else in this game. So hats off to Jay for him doing that for me. If he was doing that for other people, that's a great strength that he has. But on a personal level, that boy was always in a train, car. He was going places,
He's always
but
got his headphones in.
always
Always.
got
He's
his
always going
headphone.
somewhere.
Hey, get better headphones, buddy. I'll buy you a pair, man. I will.
It's
But
those
we
headphones too. That it's in his picture.
That's
It's
in the
those
picture.
headphones.
But we bonded over Real Housewives, which is like
Mhm.
a beautiful thing to bond over. Just like I know we said Tommy was like sweet and pure, but like I feel like there's two different genres of that description, and there's Tommy and then there's Jay. Like Jay as a person outside of like his mastermind game just feels like a genuine, like sweet person to have in your life. And so I was really grateful to be able to have connected with him in this game.
Jay is one of my best friends in the org community, and it was honestly like two ships passing in the night when we continued to not be put on the same tribe. Um, we were really close in a game. I was his person in one game, and he is super loyal. He is ride or die to the end loyal. In this game, it just did not line up. He is one of the sweetest, funniest people. we have had so many smoke sessions, it's ridiculous. Like we just to till like 1 in the morning. Jay is a girl, like a girl's girl. He is just I love him so much, and I knew what a threat he was, and I knew how unloyal he was to the people I was loyal to, and we had to take him out because he was such a strong player, and he is so strong. He was the pulse. So I just
Yeah,
love Jay very much.
I think like I had a really couple really good calls with Jay. I again kind of like what Caleb said, ship passing in the night. I think in another life, me and Jay would have been ride or dies right to the end for sure. Unfortunately, it was just a little tiny bit too obvious how unbelievably good of a player he was. And and I think that, you know, I think if he didn't go when he went, I again, this guy's probably in the end. He's probably cruising to the
Hmm.
end. He's got he would have so many people voting for him. He seems just like like a very, very exceptional player. And you know, yeah, I think like it was just sad to see him go. He seems like he really cares about these games, and like he really cares about the people that he plays with. And yeah, he's got all the respect from me. He is seems like a really great guy, and he seems like a killer in the game and outside the game, and I love that.
And now it is Edward. There he is.
Can I start with that bird?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, our little vampire, um, I don't think I ever saw him outside of his room, but he showed me a lot of his Funko Pops. Um, he hosted me in Power Grab, and so to get to meet him and play with him in this game was really an honor. He is so funny, and every morning, instead of good morning, he texted me goon morning, and it just like made my life. Like he was hilarious. Uh, he was another girl. I loved Edward, and him getting sniped out was honestly when I say like moves and orgs make me like get the tingles. Like the snipe on Edward is will go down as one of the hottest rounds that I have ever been a part of. It was so well hit. He had no idea. He went. We had no idea.
Yeah, that was crazy. I agree. I think Edward, like snoozy Ed, but he was taking naps a lot,
Hmm.
but he was not sleeping in this game. Let me tell you, this guy was on point with so many of his relationships. He was a strong player. He was smart, but more than that, honestly, I respect him as like a human being. I had a really long, probably maybe the longest call of the whole season with Edward, just talking not even about strategy, just talking about life. He was giving me like his advice on like how he sees life, how like he multiple times in this game he like talked to me as like a person, like telling me like, hey, you have like so many strengths. These are some things I would recommend working on in general. And like I just appreciated that so much from him. Just like an emotionally intelligent dude, which was surprising. And guys, the quickie, the like he was the fourth quickie, man,
Hmm.
and I love that about him. So, Lily,
Yeah, I think Edward was probably the person that had the highest emotional intelligence that I like had witnessed on the game. Not to say that he had the highest, but for sure his ability to connect and not give away any information is so, so valuable in this game. I can't tell you how many times I was on a call and left and was like, I love Edward, but then I had to take a minute and be like, he had given me nothing there. Which is great.
Literally.
It really speaks to his game. He was really good about his connections, and I felt like when we had swapped back onto a tribe together, that he was going to be my person. I always told him like, you're my guy. Like, I need this from you. Like, like you're helping me, like all this kind of stuff. And I just wanted that to be so true. And I knew in the end that it wasn't. And that's unfortunately what led to me voting that way. Um, just because I knew his connections, I could tell just in our quickies call, his connection to both Caleb and Ryu was way beyond my connection that I had had to either of them. And in the end, it felt like if it was going to be the four of us, I was the fourth in the group. And so to be figuring out an opportunity like that at a final eight or a final seven, it made final eight. It made so much more sense to do that then, but it hurt me with every like ounce of my being to have to do that. But I know that Edward respects the game and I like absolutely adore him. I always called him like Vampire Edward because it just like is so perfectly fitting in a beautiful way. So I was very lucky to have met him. Not at all what he this picture looks like or his like intro video. I was like,
At all.
who is this character?
Different person.
Yeah, but I'm obsessed with him. I'm still obsessed with him.
He was so good at like water off the back, like or
Yeah.
is that the phrase? Like this guy, like he just took it. He was like, yeah, it's all good, all respect, and then just went back to being just like his like wonderful self, and I love that. And I don't want to hear Edward, if you listen to this, I don't want to hear any negative talk because you are all positive, my man. You have so many positive qualities about you, and like I can't even describe how many positive qualities you have about you.
One time he fell asleep on call for an hour and a half on the first swap tribe, and we were trying to do the shooting game or whatever it was, like the shoe block, and he fell asleep for an hour, and we were playing like animal noises, like soundboards, and he did not wake up for an hour and a half. And then finally he woke up and arose like a princess, and he helped us win the challenge. He literally woke up. It was He's a gem.
Yeah, he's great. I love Edward.
Okay, now we move on to Aaliyah.
Oh, this one was tough. This was a tough one. Caleb, do you want to go first?
Yeah, but I don't have an hour, right? Um, Aaliyah and I sat on call every day at the beginning of the game for hours. We just chatted. We did not talk about game. Um, I love her so much that I could cry. Like, I don't come into these games often, and like making friends is hard sometimes for me in real life. And Aaliyah was one of those people that like I just connected with immediately. Um, I love her with every inch of my being. Like, I just see myself in her.
Yeah, I have to agree. Like Amazonian, that's
So,
so Aaliyah, like
so
just an absolute unit. She was so smart. She is such a smart person. Again, super emotionally intelligent. Like I like again, like you said, Caleb, like I could sit on a call with her for an hour and just have like such a good conversation. And she's a good game player. Like if like there's so we've said this about so many people in this cast, but like Aaliyah was really good. She was really, really good. And just she just was very special, a very unique person, I think. And I don't think like a lot of people could emulate like who Aaliyah is as a person. And like I mean that in the most like genuine, positive way possible. I really love her. I'm really happy I met her as well.
Yeah, I echo what both of you said about her. Like she was amazing. I think me personally, I felt like at a point in the game, she like saw me for my value and worth in a game where that wasn't happening with everyone, and her ability to do that and be loyal to the people that you knew she was loyal with is so, so rare in this game. And what was also what made her so, so dangerous. But just like a beautiful human who really like treated people equally and with respect and was very much a team player, but like strong, strong. Like she's so strong she can be a team player because if she gets to the end, she's golden. So really grateful to have met her again, like as you guys said, like beautiful calls, smart mind, strategic, the full package.
the wittiest person. She is
Yeah.
so funny. She is so just down. Just down. I would do VLDRs, and there would be a 5 minute portion dedicated to Aaliyah every time. She deserved it. She is an amazing person.
Mhm.
Up until her like the blind side, like she was like near like constantly near the top of my like trust rankings. She was constantly like someone I like looked at for like a strategic like conversation along with just a personal one. So Aaliyah's great.
Okay, now we go into Mikey.
You want to
There he
start this one
is.
off, Lils?
I do want to see what our three classes are at the end of
I'll
this.
show him at the end.
Banana Farmer is so funny. I didn't know Mikey until the merge, but when I no, that's not true. Until the Morgan vote out. Even though we had gone to two tribals before, Mikey's just so incredibly busy, and I so respect his grind in real life and his ability to like make an effort in these games. I can barely do that with one job, so thinking about having two and doing this game is super impressive, but something that has stuck with me when Mikey left is he said he truly had no allies in this game. And I do believe that that is an unfortunate circumstance that Mikey had. He did not have anyone other than Aaliyah that truly, truly had his back. And that makes my heart break for Mikey because when I finally got on a voice call, with Mikey and Morgan, I was like, this guy is awesome. Like, he's smart. He wants to work with people. Like, being on calls with him where he is sitting down, figuring out votes, figuring out what to do. When you are on that call with him, you know you're locked in. You know that he's here and he's here to play and he's going to have this group's back. So it does break my heart a little bit that he didn't get that in return, but super adore him as a human, super funny, super easy to talk to. And honestly, like, had he made it to the end, super, super hard to overcome his game.
Yeah, I think like looking at Mikey, man, like a little bit of some rivalry between me and Mikey throughout the game from like in a respectful way. Like we were never really on the same side. And it was a little bit unfortunate because I think think every time I talk to him, first of all, he has a beautiful relationship with his boyfriend. Like they were seem like a great couple together. But like, damn, like this guy, every time I talk to him, I'm like, why couldn't you be on more and be more available? And then in my head, I think, oh yeah, it's because he's hustling in real life and he's making like he's getting shit done in real life. And unfortunately, sometimes that just doesn't equate to like being able to be fully invested in this game. But even with the little time that he had, he still was invested. He was still always putting an effort until the last minute if he had to. He was always trying like angles in order to get to the end. And like, yeah, I think like he did have a crazy good underdog story. Like if he made it to the end, like he would have a great pitch. And the way he was able to like voice what his thoughts were and his opinions on the game and his knowledge about the game, like I have no doubts he would have crushed FTC. No doubts.
He was really good with his feet. He played a really strong, just really strong social game because even though we called once, I still felt like there was a way for us to work together constantly. Like he was one of those people that was like, I also agree that when he went out, he said he didn't have any allies, and I didn't even see it until he kind of left that maybe, yeah, I think everybody put him at arm's length a little bit, and that happens to people in games, and it was unfortunate that it had to. I don't think it had to, but it transpired. Mikey, an org legend in my mind. He is one of those people that I am scared of. When he walks into a game, I'm like, oh, there he is. There's Mikey. Um, Unfortunate that he had to go out the way he did.
I will definitely be remembering Mikey, and if I see him in another game, I would 100%, we're on like a similar tribe or we're like in the house together or whatever, I would be making a significant effort to have him on my side rather than against me because damn, having Mikey against you is not something you want ever.
Mhm. You guys would make a cute couple.
Aw,
Mhm.
Mikey, you hear that?
Okay. And then Jeremy.
That photo is crazy.
He is a troll.
Jeremy is the essence of have fun, play hard. He plays so hard, but damn, he's funny while he does it. He's always cracking a joke, trying to find the funniest way to like say something. And he does it way better than I do. He is definitely not the strongest in the game positionally wise, and maybe had, like he said multiple times, this was like his roughest game he played. I have zero doubts that if Jeremy was in a power position, he would be running the ship. It's just he never did, and I think by the end he was a little bit like, I'm gonna focus on power grab, and so I think he was really focused. Hashtag apply for power grab.
You should do it. Jeremy is a hilarious person. When we swapped on the first tribe, he said, "Listen, I won't promise you anything, but I will promise that I'll cut you right before the end." And that's, he said, "I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to beat around the bush." And every time we got on call, he'd say, "I feel screwed. Am I screwed?" And he was a real person. He, like, what he said to me might not have been true, but I felt like authenticity from him. And he is a great banana farmer.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like similar to what you guys felt like with Jay, I had with Jeremy, are just two ships crossing in the night. There were many rounds where we just didn't talk because we just knew that we weren't on each other's sides. And I think there is a beauty in having that ability with people in this game. And there were moments where I tried to work with Jeremy or I worked with Jeremy, but there was just always this underlying knowledge that we were never actually ever beyond this one vote working together, which I can really respect. You don't come across people like even myself, I'm not fully honest with everybody when I'm not working with them because it makes you more dangerous or in a less safe spot. But Jeremy was able to do that and still make it to Final Five, which is pretty incredible. So yeah, and he was funny. He did have his moments.
Su Super
Funny
smart
looking.
dude. Super smart dude, but like, yeah, he's hilarious. And him and his girlfriend seem like they're like really close, and I love that. Yeah, he was a really good guy. We would be friends IRL for sure, for sure.
I'd vote him
Okay.
out again.
And last we have
Oh,
Bryant.
sweet baby Bryant.
Uh,
Okay, I adore Bryant. I told this to him last round that when I first saw Bryant was in this game, I was really excited to vote him out. I felt like this is my time. This is going to be a fun little gag thing. And then because we didn't find each other until merge, it was like, and like I know Bryant, I don't know Bryant like that. Like I like to be say he was like coming home to like a home cooked meal and knowing that my favorite dessert is like cooking in the oven. That's what it felt like to like finally be with him at the merge. It just felt like here's like a welcoming face. Like, and I only know of him from the one game that I hosted. That is our connection. We had brunch during this game, and that was it. So, and in that game, he was such a big threat. And my favorite thing about Bryant is he loves big moves, but like he is very good at making big moves and not making that the pinnacle of his game. And I think very, very few people can do that. He is able to make swaps, to make these big moves. In the last game, he had a girl that just voted his way every round until final five when she went. And that was not the pinnacle of his game. And so I think that that is super impressive. And I could go on and on about how much of a beautiful soul he is and just so funny. He's very witty, um, and all of the things. But Gone too soon, in my opinion, but I adore Bryant, and I was super grateful to have played with him and not tried to snipe him at the merge when I could have. But I'm glad it worked out the way it did.
You want me to go? I'll go.
Yeah.
Bryant, I voted for Bryant 3 times, and I could not get this guy out to save my life. This guy was such a good game player. He was so wholesome. Every time I talk to him, I'm like, man, I wish we were just a little bit closer, or we'd swap together in like a previous tribe earlier in the game, because Bryant was a force. This guy was such a good player. Like, stutter what? This guy was unreal with his words. Every time I was listening to him, I'm like, dude, stop reading me for filth. Like, this guy is so, like, he's so knowledgeable. He's, like, so smart. He was a challenge beast. What, he win, like, two or three of them, but, like, was second in, like, countless of them. He was awesome. And, yeah, I really had a lot of respect for Brian. And similar to like a Mikey, if I see a Bryant in another game and we are even somewhat close, able to work together, this guy would be such a force to have as like an ally. Like Lily, you definitely made the right choice of keeping Bryant because he was a menace in the best way possible in this game.
It was really nice to become friends and then enemies and then friends again. And it was, and then enemies.
And then enemies again.
So it's just a very weird ride between Bryant and I. He was the one that I could feel, could smell the bullshit throughout this entire season. He was the bullshit sensor. Um, and he was good. He was a good player. Um, Fire was not how I mean, he should be sitting here. I wish all four of us could be here, but Bryant is a powerhouse.
Oh yeah, such a good player.
Hmm.
And like just such a good dude. Like, yeah.
Honestly,
He was such a trifecta. Like he literally encapsulated just like
powerhouse.
all the power you needed in the game. Like fallen
Hmm.
angel, he is. He is
He
a
had
fallen angel.
charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent.
Yeah,
Whoa.
for sure.
Okay, I'll go ahead and well, I guess we'll keep that up because I'll show you the things after, but I'll go ahead and stop the stream since we are done.